Tristan, nice to have you at the Kids Bookshop today.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming to see us. We're here to talk about the My Life series today. So I wondered if you'd like to talk to us a little bit about this series, the new book, and why you've written a series for younger readers that you feel really helps to entertain and engage them.
Well, I really loved Paul Jennings as a kid, and the first book that I ever got from a bookstore was Unreal, and I love those short stories, and I've always written my own short stories on the side, and I've made short films, and I really like the short form. I like the structure of, beginning, middle and end within a single read sort of thing, as well as writing longer novels. And so I started thinking, what am I going to write short stories about? And I started jotting down things that had happened to me when I was a kid. And I thought about all the horrible things that my sister had done to me, and like trying to make me eat Vegemite off her big toe. And I thought about a time that I had my appendix removed in order to avoid detention with my school librarian. And I thought about lots of things from my childhood, and I jotted them down. I wrote pages and pages and pages of notes. And then I started to pull out the good stuff, and there was lots of rubbish, lots of just unusable stuff. But in there were all these little anecdotes that I thought, that's interesting. And then I'd just follow my nose, and I'd sort of follow my curiosity, and it'd develop into a darker, more twisted, hopefully more funny story as I went along. So now, it's turned into sort of about 30 short stories so far in the series, and it's a really fun way to write. And I'm often writing a longer novel, like Two Wolves, that sort of came out this time last year. And that took me about 5 years to write. So in between drafts of Two Wolves, I would go and write a couple of short stories, and it would kind of cleanse my palate almost, so I could go back in and do another draft of the bigger book.
So, cleanse your palate, easier or harder to write funny books?
Probably easier in that they just flow from you, and I feel like Tom Weekly, the character, is my alter ego, so I know how he thinks, and I know that he's kind of fired up about life, and he has lots of sort of entrepreneurial ideas that are doomed from the beginning, and but he's ludicrously positive. No matter what happens, he's always thinking this just around the corner, success is nigh. And I'm a bit like that too. Even as an adult, I kind of plunge myself into crazy careers like writing children's books, and somehow you find your way through. Somehow you make it work because you love it so much.
He's a great character, Tom Weekly. And you just said he's a bit of an alter ego. So he's a lot of you, and is he a lot of kids that you've spoken to? I know you do a lot of school visits. Do you meet a lot of Tom Weekleys along the way?
I do, yeah. I think every kid has a bit of Tom Weekly, because I think, as adults we can get a bit sort of, it's all too much, and we've got so much responsibility, and we've got to do this, and we've got to do that. And I sort of, writing these stories is a bit like, engaging that part of myself that is totally free of responsibility. And when I brainstorm with kids in sessions, I'll throw out an idea and I'll say, okay, I'm working on this story, and it's called CDS, and it's about a debilitating disease that every father suffers from, cranky dad syndrome. And it's sweeping the nation, and Tom and Jack are bored on a Saturday morning, and they want to test Jack's dad just to see if he's suffering from cranky dad syndrome. And I know you guys never annoy your fathers, but do you have any ideas on ways that might kind of upset a father just to and then they're like, and they come up with 50 ideas, and then I'd sort of direct them to my website to add the ideas in comments on the blog as well. And then we end up with 150 ideas on the blog, and then in the story Cranky Dad Syndrome, I tried to work in a lot of their ideas, and then I made a list of 25 ways to test your dad for CDS, and then I thanked all the kids in the back of the book.
Oh, great.
So I really like that crossover between writer and reader, that it's not so black and white anymore. There's that blurred line, and they can get involved.
I think that's fantastic. Any more books coming up?
I'm working on the 4th book, and I'm really hoping that in the 2nd book, My Life and Other Stuff That Went Wrong, there's a story by a 12-year-old writer, and we've got a writing competition this year that's 500-word funny short story, 8 to 13-year-old writers. $1,000 is the prize money, and $1,000 worth of books for the kids' school. And I really secretly hope that I'll find a story that will be good enough to put in the 4th book too.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm working on that, and then on a sort of bigger crime mystery sort of story also.
For young adults?
Yeah, sort of middle graders, I see.
Okay.
I understand that kind of 10 to 14. I feel like they were the greatest years of my childhood, and so I naturally flow into that kind of space.
Can't wait. Thanks for coming in to see us today, Tristan. It's been really nice to speak to you. Can I just ask where people can find out about that competition?
The competition, you can look on my website, which is just tristanbanks.com, or if you just look up My Life competition, My Life short story competition, or if you Google that, you'll be able to find it at the Random House website.
Great prize.
Yeah, and I hope we get, thousands of stories to read.
That will stop you writing for a little while, but otherwise, it's been really good to speak to you. Thanks for coming to see us today,
No problem.
Tristan.
Thank you.